Hey guys, welcome back to another podcast, another CDH The Lost podcast. That's what this channel is called. Today is that's wrong, July 6th, 2025, 4 days after the 4th. It's 9:20 p.m. I got off of work at 7, living the best life. I wanted to get this video out, or not even for you guys necessarily, but for me. I had some ideas that I wanted to discuss. Maybe it'll help you, maybe not. It's gonna help me, and that's all that really matters right now. Before we get into any of that, we do have a drink of the day. Today, it's gonna be Liquid Death Blueberry Buzzsaw. Never had it before, but it's flavored tea, so it's probably pretty good. And if it's blueberry flavored, that's awesome. Let's try it. You won't believe it. Tastes like blueberry and tea. It tastes really good, actually. I'm impressed. I'm gonna be buying it again for sure. All right, so what are we going to be discussing in this episode? Obviously, you can see on the screen, we're going to talk about SMART goals. I have a complex history with SMART goals. I think they're one of the most useful things that anyone can do, any parts of their life. When I worked at Taco Time for 6 years as a manager. When I worked there, my last 2 years, each year we had to come up with a SMART goal. And we had to present it to our district manager, which is like the boss's boss. And he had to approve it, and if it wasn't a good enough goal, he would help us get a new goal. And it did actually help. I was impressed that Taco Time, of all places, made us do that. But they did, and I appreciate it. Now I take it with me basically wherever I go. I'll come up with a SMART goal. I'll be real, most of the times I come up with one, I don't follow it. But with Magic, I tend to put a lot of time and effort and care into Magic, especially CDH, which is what this channel's about. So I do use SMART goals quite a lot. Even if I don't like write it down like I'm gonna do today. I do use it for every tournament. Even at like locals, every Thursday we have locals at a local game store, and we just play 2 paid rounds and then a bunch of games out of it. I'll show up. It starts at like 6. I'll show up like 3:34, and before anyone else is there, I'll take out my notebook and write my goals for the day, on what to achieve. And then if I achieve them, great. If I don't, great. I say great if you don't achieve them, because you get to learn, and that's the most important thing we're doing here, is learning. That's what CDH or Magic is. It's the opportunity to learn how to fail. And I think that's really important in life, is we have to learn how to fail in a positive way. Because if we learn how to fail in a negative way, then we want to like kill ourselves. That's not really ideal. Let's be real. Everyone that listens here is amazing, and we all love you. Anyway, why are we talking about SMART goals in relation to Magic the Gathering, CDH, and tournaments? Well, because we have a tournament on the 12th. Yeah, it's another CEDH tournament, so just like the last one I went to. This is a CDH 15. It's a 3K. The other ones end up like right around like a 1.5K. So this is more money. In theory, it's more money. July 3K CDH tournament. This event will be live streamed. It gives you the YouTube. I'll put it in the description of the video, just in case anyone doesn't know about it and wants to watch it. $75 buy-in. I haven't registered yet, obviously. I'm going to. We figured out our work situation. It's going to be a call-out angle. If anyone from my work is listening, they're not, but just in case they are, you didn't hear that. And then it's a 40-person tournament is the cap. We don't care about car insurance right now. Let's get back to this page. 40 players. Players can directly qualify for this event by going 2-0 in our weekly CDH events every Monday leading up to this event. I didn't go to any of these because it's in Tacoma, and that's like 2.5 hours away. Deck list must be submitted. Awesome. We're going to be playing Fibble Fip again. And then we're following all the rule sets that we have been always following. But before we get into all this rule stuff, we're going to go through a few things that I like to do before tournaments. I wrote it down on a piece of paper because I'm prepared today. Things to do before tournaments. Know the tournament structure. That's what this is. So we'll talk about it in just a second. And then the next one is prepare accordingly, which I guess we'll talk about the rules because this will all be a part of it. So with the standard Top Deck Champion Series rule set, 80-minute rounds, 20-minute overtime after time is called. The active player will finish their turn. Once 20 minutes of the overtime has been hit, the stack will automatically resolve. If no winner has been determined, the round will be considered a draw. Top 10. This is notable. At the last CDH event, it was top 10, but there were 64 players, which is okay. I got 11th, and I just wasn't good enough to make top cut. I do like top 10s. It incentivizes you to actually not take draws and to actually win your games, so you can get first or second place to automatically go to the finals. Semis and finals, no time limit. Play until winners determined. Finals will begin soon after winners have been determined from semifinals. Makes sense. Proxy friendly, obviously. Pricing. 3K cash pricing to the top 10. 3K prize pool based on a minimum field of 40 players. So this prize pool will go up. If there's more than 40 players in attendance, the 3K prize pool will go up. Breakdown will be announced at the end of round 1. It's just to make sure they know how many people are actually there, how many people bought in, how much money they're able to give out. Makes a whole lot of sense. It looks like it's a 4-round. 4-round event. Is that right? Yeah, 4-round event. That's actually going to change the numbers up quite a lot, which is interesting. I'm used to a 5-round event, which is typically 9, 10 points and up get you almost qualify for top 10. So this is going to be a little different. With one less round, it's probably going to be 7 or 8 points get you to top 10. Not exactly sure. But that's probably where the math's going to end up being. Anyway, 10 a.m. doors open, 10:45 check-in deadline, 10:50 players meeting, 11 a.m. start of round 1. Round 2, there's a 30-minute lunch after round 2, which is important. We'll get into that when we talk about what I do to prepare when the last match finishes. Sometimes tournaments do an hour. Some people do 30 minutes when the round ends. So including before overtime happens, the 30 minutes will start. This is after the last match finishes. So if the last match takes 15 minutes after the timer goes off, you'll have essentially a 45-minute break from the end of the round timer, which will help us or hurt us depending on if you're in that last pod. All right. So now that we know the rules, how it's going to be structured, let's go back to my page. We know the tournament structure. 4 rounds, which is important. It changes the math up a lot. I think 4 rounds actually incentivizes more draws, if I'm being real. I haven't obviously done the math, but I'm pretty sure with 8 points, you'll most likely make top 10 depending on how the rest of the field plays out. So you could go win and then 3 draws, be at 8 points, barely sneak in. Ideally, you want 2 wins, and then you're already automatically guaranteed with how little people there are and how little rounds there are. So that's interesting. I'm excited to try it out. We'll see how it goes. And then everything else is completely normal. Love it. Love 80-minute rounds. It's a perfect system, I think. You could even maybe shorten it. If you shorten it, you're hurting control decks like myself, and helping turbo decks, which I think is ultimately fine. If we're being realistic, it hurts the decks that like to set up like a Smothering Tithe and Ristic Study and go into the mid-range hell. which I kind of do enjoy, but 80 minutes is fine. Since we know the tournament structure, how do we prepare accordingly? I have snacks, water, notebook, practice, deck list, and then goal sets. We're going to set aside the goal setting just for a little bit. That'll be at the end of the video, I think. And then, so snacks. It's going to be an all-day event if we're being realistic. If you're someone who doesn't live in Tacoma, that's where this is, you're going to have a drive to get down there. So make sure you eat breakfast, obviously, and then you're going to have to wake up like an hour, 2 hours, 2.5 hours before the doors even open just to drive down there. Like, we have to wake up like 2.5 hours before the doors open just to make it there in time, which is fine. But snacks, you're going to be there all day playing Magic, which is a sport. Like, you do look into chess at all. There's chess players that lose 5 to 6 pounds in a chess day where all they're doing is playing chess all day. They're sitting down at a board, but they're losing weight because your brain is working so hard to think of all the different possibilities. You're going to want snacks, whether it's like protein bars. That's typically what I do, or like granola bars because they're easy to pack. Or even if you like go to the store right before the doors open and get some like fruit, it's going to be a lifesaver, I promise you. Water, go to the store, whether the day before the doors open, during the tournament when you like lose quick or win quick, go get some water. I typically buy 2 1-liter bottles of water. That'll last me about the day. Typically in the last rounds I won't have the water, but then I'll just buy some from the store. Support your local GameStops. Not your GameStops, your local game stores. Great way to help them. Notebook. This is important. Everyone, please bring a notebook. The amount of times where I sit at a table and they're like, "Oh, is it okay if we use our phone?" Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to still keep track on my notebook. It keeps you more attentive in the game. It'll help you think straighter. You can write down useful information, and then when the game's over, you can give yourself a nice little description so you can look back at the game and be like, "Oh, what happened here? Why did I win? Why did I lose?" It's so helpful. The games that I win are typically the ones where I'm the only one writing things down in a notebook because I'm the one most focused on the game. So please get a notebook. If you don't have a notebook and you're going to this event, literally send me a message on Discord. Put a message in the comments. I will bring you a notebook. I will bring a bag full of 50 notebooks if there's 50 people that don't have access to notebooks. I will make it happen. Just have a notebook, please. Practice. This one's huge. If you're like me, how I was last year, and didn't know what you wanted to play, or wanted to switch it up over and over and over, you won't have time to practice. Or if you wait until the night before, you're obviously going to lose more games than the player who's been playing the same Dragon deck for 6 months, 9 months, whatever it is. They're going to know how their deck works in and out. They're going to know certain matchups, know what cards they need in certain matchups. And you're not going to win as many games. You're not the best player in the world. Get over yourself. Sure, you want to play this deck because it seems cool. How about you just pick a deck and play it? At least give yourself a week, week and a half, 2 weeks. Don't be like me. I had a miserable last like year and a half, 2 years because I'm like, let me just build a deck the night before. Guess what was happening? I was losing games. Give yourself at least a week with at least 1 or 2 days in there before the tournament where you're playing 4 to 5 to 6 games. If more, that's amazing with that deck so you can actually learn the deck. It's super important. Deck lists. We can jump over to here. Make sure you have your deck list solidified. Don't wait until the same day to update your deck list unless it's like 1 or 2 card change. I have a friend, shout out Carter, that will go to tournaments and he will have changed his deck and paper and then not on the deck list on Moxfield. And then when he goes to submit his deck, he's like, wait, I changed cards like 3 weeks ago. I don't know what cards I took out and what cards I put in. So then somebody, me, has to go through and update his deck list. Don't be like Carter. It's okay to spend the night before, just double checking your deck list, make sure it's correct. Make sure you know your deck list in and out. You don't want to be in a situation where someone gives you like a wish claw talisman and you don't know what you're supposed to grab. Like when they ask you what to grab. Just know your deck. It's not that hard. It's your deck. You're playing it to try winning the game. Just win the game with it. You know it. I believe in you. And then that's all of it. Let's go down to the next section. Nick Hammond had a great video on this. If I remember to, I will link it in the description. But we're playing a sport. CDH is a sport. We're competitively playing a game that takes majority of your brain power when you're playing it. Treat it that way. Study film. Use previous games to learn. That's where this notebook comes in play. Sure, you're not going to record every game. Maybe you are. Maybe you're not. But write in the borders of the page, write on a separate page how the game went, what happened, what hand you kept if you want to go that deep. Typically, I just write how the game ended, what cards were standout cards. Those are great ways to tell you, especially when you're working on an open deck list like FibleFib. I'm the one coming up with all the changes. Realistically, I get a few people on Discord being like, hey, try this card, try that card, which is great. Like we have Echoing Truths and Manifold Insights that we're testing out this week to see if they are good in the deck. I don't know if they're going to be, but shout out to the guy on Discord. But yeah, if you have an open deck list, writing notes is great. You're going to learn what cards are bad, what cards are really good, stuff like that. Stretch and warm up. Now, the people that know me know that I'm a fat white guy. What they don't know is that throughout high school and even after high school, I've played sports. Like I played high level end sports in high school. I was varsity on football. I got a college scholarship for college, but I decided not to go because I got injured, got too many concussions. So I played football at a very high level. I understand how to work out at a high level. Stretch. Even if you're out of shape, reach for your toes. Reach for your toes. Reach for your toes. Go for a little walk the night before, the day of, if you live close by. Go shoot around a basketball. I'm telling you, it will help. It will clear your mind. It'll get you all loose and ready. It'll get your blood pumping, which is what you need in a situation like this. There's literally been times at a tournament where I've stood up and literally reached for my toes. And my opponents look at me and like, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, I'm stretching. Do it. It'll help. And then the warm-up part is gold fishing, right? Sure, if you're super busy in a week and you can only get like 2 games in, goldfish. Goldfish takes like 10 minutes out of your day to goldfish a game. Goldfish on your breaks at work. Goldfish if you're riding the bus or when you're at home watching TV. Goldfish. You're going to get better with the deck because you're going to realize lines that you didn't notice before by goldfishing. Do it. I'm a fat white guy. I like to eat unhealthy food. That's a big surprise to everyone here, I know. But eating healthy leading up to a tournament or an event is huge. Me and my friends, after our locals on Thursday, most of the time we go to Applebee's. Normally I'll get like a burger or some pasta. Typically the week or two before an event, I'll change it up and I'll go like get a salad. And you might think, well, that's not going to help you. No, it will help you. Realistically, we can all be super skinny and healthy if we just ate better and worked out. But that's boring. Let's be realistic. But if we're trying to compete at the highest level, we have to do these things. That's what the pros do in any sport, is that they eat salads, they work out. So why don't we do the same? All right. And then make sure your equipment is good and you know how to use it. That's like your playmat. Make sure your playmat's appropriate. Let's make sure that it's in good condition. Your sleeves are important. You don't want to have a judge called over and being like, this guy has marked sleeves. That's a terrible feeling. You lose a game because of your sleeves. You don't want that to happen. You don't need to change your sleeves the night before every tournament. But like, if you've had the same sleeves on for 1, 2, 2.5, 3 months, maybe change them before a tournament just to be on the safe side. And you're gonna feel better about it. You're gonna have new sleeves. You're gonna be looking good. You're gonna feel good. Looking good, feeling good, doing good. Trust me, it's like the small things. You don't want to. If you go on like a first date, you don't want to be wearing your raggedy clothes that you use to paint the walls in your house. You're gonna want to put on something nice. That's what you're doing here. You're showing out. Show off. You're a hot, sexy individual. You got this. All right. That's all that I had on what I do to prepare is bring snacks. We're all hungry individuals. Sometimes you don't get to eat if you're in a long pod. This format's pretty helpful on how the tournament's structured. It's pretty helpful on the whole making sure you have a time to eat. Bring some water, notebook. Again, if you don't have access to a notebook, message me. I will go to the store and buy you a notebook out of my own money. Won't ask for anything. I'll even throw in a few pens for you. I'm such a great guy. Don't counter my spells. I think they're just super important to the game. Please bring them. Practice. All right. Now let's go to the main thing that I wanted to talk about today. Smart goals. Smart goals are amazing, like I was saying earlier. Let's just throw them out realistically, not the whole thing, but we want to throw out the time bound because the time bound's already set for us. So I guess we're not really throwing it out. It's already filled out for us. Time bound's going to be end of tournament. I'm writing it down on the paper as I go. That's why my brain might be a little slow because I'm writing down end of tournament right now on a piece of paper. Specific. So what do we want our goal to be? This can be from multiple things to being like 3 wins, no misplays, something like that. I think those are completely fine goals to have. We just have to make sure they're achievable. If this is your first tournament and you're playing a deck that's not meta, don't put win the tournament, make top cut, stuff like that. I think those are bad goals for someone who's first tournament, not a meta deck, stuff like that. I think it's a bad goal for even myself to say win the tournament. I'm playing goddamn Flip. Do you think that deck can win a tournament? I don't, and it's my deck. So if I put that down on the piece of paper, it won't be achievable. What's the specific goal for me during this tournament? I'm gonna say make top cut. This is typically the go-to goal that I have for all my tournaments is make top cut. That's where I determine if it's been a good tournament or not. I have coworkers that after a tournament will ask me, where did you place? And I'll tell them, like this last tournament, I was telling them 11 out of 64. And they're like, dang, that's really good. And I look them straight in the eye and say, no, it's not. I didn't make my goal. That's okay to not make your goal, to get better. Is this measurable? Yes. But I'm going to add a secondary goal to the specific goal to make sure we have something to actually strive for. Because make top cut is a bad specific goal. We want to narrow it down. How am I going to make top cut? I'm going to make top cut by no major misplays and 3, I guess there's only 4 rounds. I was going to say 3 out of 5 rounds. Let's go 2 out of 4 rounds. Be the best politicker. I think that if I make no major misplays and about half my rounds, I'm the best politicker at the table. I will make top cut. I think that's a realistic goal, and an achievable goal. I believe in my political skills and experience in the format enough that I believe that this is an achievable goal on the 2 out of 4 rounds, be the best politicker, and I believe in my ability to slow down and not make any major misplays. During those last tournament, 2 out of the 5 rounds, I made 4 major misplays that lost me the game. I'm going to say no major misplays. I'm going to add to a caveat 1 or 2 minor misplays. Because we're all going to make misplays. Every single game, someone makes a slight misplay, whether it's with the words they use or spells they cast. I think if I have only 1 or 2 minor misplays, and no major misplays, and 2 out of 4 rounds, I'm the best politicker, I will guarantee myself a spot in top 10, and that's the goal. And then the relevant. The benefit of the goal should align with the needs of your business. This isn't really a business. This is myself. Why is this relevant to me? I view myself as one of the top players in Washington. Every time I walk into the room, I think I'm the best player, and I think that's through the years of playing the game. It might be a little cocky, and yeah, it is, but that's the mentality you have to have. You can't be like, oh, Atlas is the best player in Washington. Jack Hall is the best player in Washington, etc. You have to go into every game thinking you're the best player at the table if you want a chance to win in this format. Even if you know it's not true, like I know I'm probably not better than Jack or Atlas or any of the other really talented players in the Pacific Northwest like Nick Hammond, but I will sit down at every table, and for that game, I'm better than them, is the belief you have to have. So why is this relevant? Because I'm the GOAT, realistically. Yeah, so if I'm the GOAT, all these are achievable. Yeah, so that's the SMART goal. The overarching goal is to make top cut. How am I going to get there? No major misplays, 1 or 2 minor misplays, and 2 out of 4 rounds, I'm the best politicker at the table. If those happen, I will make top cut. When is the time frame for this? At the end of the tournament. If I don't make top cut, it will be a failure. If I make top cut, it'll be a success. Pretty easy. Is it achievable? Yes. I've done it before. I'll do it again. Measurable. If I make major misplays, I'll know I made major misplays. I know I'll be the best politicker if I'm the one using my voice the most, or if I'm butting heads with somebody at the table in a way to leverage my ability to win the game. I don't like politicking, if I'm being realistic. Sometimes I just sit there and let other people yap all the time. But this tournament, I'm going to put an emphasis on politicking to eke out any advantage that I can get. But yeah, that's basically it for the episode. I just wanted to come in here, talk about SMART goals, things that I do before a tournament. Hopefully, if you take anything away from it, and of course, I love you. We all love you. Live your best life. I know I'm trying. Anyway, that's it for tonight. Bye, babes.